Hey everyone, if you're like me, you kind of prefer to have someone walk you through rather than reading a whole bunch of information that you were sent on a computer screen or your phone. I know that got very cumbersome as the shutdown happened last spring. So I'm taking you guys right now to the new band website. This has actually been up for a little while, but I'm utilizing it now to put everything. So the web address is right up here. You don't need to do the HTTPS stuff, but just sites.google.com/view/BRBands. Another way you can access that, and I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. Hold on just one moment. If you go to brps.org, this is always a fail-safe if you're ever trying to figure out where a teacher's materials are. So, oh wait, these are staff links. Sorry, wrong click. You go to your building, the high school. If you go to the staff directory down here, and then you'll find fine arts is probably somewhere in the mix here. So you got my name right here. So we're in the staff directory of the high school page. There you see my photo and all that, and then you see a link to the new website. And you can obviously send an email or leave a voicemail, but I'm rarely at school to check my phone, so that'll take you to the new band website. Now, up here at the top, this is the pertinent information you guys need to know. The 2020 marching band information is all here. So we've got our summer camp letter. That's the letter that you folks just got. I'm going to go ahead and you can kind of open this up and it'll pop up. Might look a little bit different since I'm the creator of the document. But as you folks can see, this is the letter that Mrs. Hobart helped forward along. MHSAA just came out with not much new information, but basically to say we are going to start practices officially on August 10th. A lot of athletes have been training since June using social distancing, being outside, not being able to go in the building, those kinds of things. So we're going to go ahead and do an abbreviated camp. We're asking for $20. That's to cover t-shirts and some other expenses. Percussion and Colorguard, July 30th through 31st, 2 nights, just 6 to 9 for those 2 sections to get them started. And then everybody in the band, the week of August 3 to 7, we're only going to do evening rehearsals. Now, like I said, we cannot go inside the building. The only restroom out there is going to be a porta potty. So, you know, for good measure, we don't want to be there any longer than we have to. Plus, it's going to get cooler as the evening progresses. Marching in a cooler temperature is certainly better than the hot sun. Big thing that everybody needs to be aware of, we must abide by social distancing guidelines and use PPE, the personal protective equipment. Basically, you got to wear a mask when you're not practicing. And I know we all have different opinions. We all have different values in this process. Some of us don't believe in it. Some of us are very adamant about it. We're not kind of going there. It's like if you go into Meijer or Walmart or any other store right now, you got to put it on. Okay, so we're going to be abiding by that guideline. You're going to want to arrive a little early each day. I would prefer some folks maybe try to show up about a half an hour beforehand, because this could take a while. I'm not sure how many stations of parent volunteers we're going to have to check temperatures and ask this questionnaire that we have. Please do arrive early. We must take your temperature for every student, and we're going to ask a series of questions such as, have you had a cough? Have you had a fever? Have you been exposed to people with COVID-19 or family members, and all those things? So far, no athletes in BRPS have answered yes to any question, and they've all been able to participate. So hopefully that'll continue, because our area of the state right now is not super hot zone type thing. So we do ask that you have a mask. We're going to be splitting you guys 6 feet social distancing, so please abide by that while you're at school. If it rains, we cancel. So there's really not much else we can do. If there's rain and thunderstorms, then you'll hear from me to say that it's canceled. So bring water, bring your instrument, bring your lyre if you have one from previous years, or a flip folder. You shouldn't have that from previous years, but if you've got it, please bring it in. Please print the music if you can. I'll show you where that is in just a brief moment. But I'm going over the things that everybody right now really needs to know. We're going to close down at 9. We're going to send folks out right away. I'm not going to hold people any later each day. So again, nobody's allowed inside. even to use the restroom. For bigger equipment, we're going to need to bring that bigger equipment out. Percussion week, we can probably, at the end of that Friday rehearsal, we can probably load everything in the trailer and just close it up. Maybe only have 1 or 2 students assisting with that to try to keep as few people from going in and out of that trailer as we can. I think the son wants to say hi. Okay, can you go on, sweetie? All right. So we'll probably end up utilizing our band trailer closer to the field so camp week goes a little bit smoother with the big instruments. But I'm going to have to haul that out. No one's allowed in the building again. Music and drill and all those things. The first 2 drills are done. He just finished part 1 and part 2 for us. So we're going to have some stuff to do. So a lot of other nitty gritties on what to bring are here. Music, if you can print it at home, please do. So we make less copies and, you know, there's less transferring of pieces of paper. We want to try to eliminate that if we can. What you want to do is when you print it off, you're going to want to cut it to size. So in other words, trim off all the extra paper around it so that it'll fit inside of a flip folio. And we'll show you guys how, the freshman class, we'll show you guys how to attach it to your instrument. You must have a metal lyre, and I'm looking right here. The metal lyre, this is what we used last fall when you guys joined us for the football game. It goes into a slot on your instrument or attaches to the center of the clarinet, and that metal piece attaches there, and then it clips on the flip folio. So every instrument must have one, with the exception of, I think I wrote down flute, mellophone, tubas, percussion do not need one. That's really, really important that everybody gets one. So I wrote a general price, but I'll show you guys where our supply list is with specific prices for each instrument. Bring your own sticks, drum line, bass drums and quints, I've got them. A little bit of sunscreen, we're not going to hit too much of that, but it is 3 hours with the sun facing you directly, because as you guys know, we face up towards the soccer field, which is towards the west in the evening. We'll flip that around from time to time, especially when practicing music outside. We'll go ahead and flip the field so the sun's at your back. You might want to bring some sunglasses and a hat so that you can, you know, bring it really low and have those shades on, kind of like at band camp where we got that west facing view of sun for an hour or 2 in the evening. It's a good idea to have sunglasses on. You must have tennis shoes and socks. This is a busy week on your feet each night. So we're going to do marching. We got to do some standing. I can't bring 100 chairs outside. There's really no way to store them, and that logistically doesn't really work. So we're going to be on our feet for 3 hours. So please wear comfortable tennis shoes and socks. Bring a pencil so that we can mark things in. Parent volunteers, we do have some, but we could use more. So contact us, myself or Mrs. Leeper. Monday night practices, I'm writing, you know, I'll go over this in the calendar. But as you guys will also see the performance schedule as it stands right now. And the lines of communication are still family access, Skyward. Make sure your email addresses are up to date. Liking us on Facebook. I'll always post on Facebook if an event is canceled or if something changes. I'll try to also email that home. So those are the 2 big avenues. And then the band website, the new band website's the other avenue of communication. If you're receiving this in any way, I'm planning on you being there. Okay, there was very few non-marchers last year, so we're going on with a 100% marching band for next fall. I think this is a good year to do it. If we have a season, everyone's participating in it, and it's a lot of fun. It's certainly a very rewarding experience, and we can't wait to see you guys again. As you guys can see, my email address link is here, the Facebook page link is here, and also the new band website link is also down there. Now I'm going to transition back to the band website, go back to that marching band page. So that was a brief overview of the letter. The supply prices, all you got to do is just open that up. I don't need to do that right now, but you can kind of see what some of the prices are. They might be a little bit low. I might have to bump them up, but I'm not going to do that this year. I'm not going to raise any costs. Here are links to all the show music, and this is a live, as I update things into this Google Drive folder, it'll automatically update, such as part 4. Mr. Bolton just finished that recently. So all of the pieces, and by the way, students, this is not the order of the show. We flipped part 2 and 3 around. Tempos, feel kind of made sense to flip them around. So we're going to do the Nightmare Before Christmas second, and Ice Dance will be third, Corpse Bride will be fourth. And this will all be really, really fun stuff. If you've never seen these movies, this would be a great time to, look up the 1990s Batman, the Danny Elfman theme. It's an older film, but it's a really good one musically. Edward Scissorhands, you might want to check that out. Nightmare Before Christmas, a lot of kids watch that one. Corpse Bride's really cool too, so check that out. You guys can see the calendar, part assignments. This is important for clarinet players, trumpet players, trombone players. Trying to think if there's any other instruments I may have divided up by part, maybe alto saxophone. Check out, click this, open this up, and see what part I'm assigning you in your section. I think there's one student that I do need to update when this video is done, but this will let you know if I have to copy off trumpet 1, 2, or 3 at home. Also, if you're practicing this music right now, this helps so that you're not practicing the wrong part. This is the pre-screen slip. I went ahead and kept this on there so you guys kind of know what's going to happen. These are the questions that we're going to be asking you, and I'm going to open this up right now. Do you have a fever, cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, contact with someone with COVID, or a fever? So these are just simple, basic questions like you're getting a quick medical exam. If you answer no, you're ready to go for practice that day. So, and again, this is almost exactly what the athletic department is using. I just modified it for our band program. So athletes have been using this for a little over a month now. The part assignment sheet is there. I don't know why I posted that twice, but it's there. And then the calendar. This is kind of out of view. It's a little bit small. I might change that. I'm going to actually go to this calendar page first so that you guys can see it. Returning band students, this is nothing new. You guys have seen this before. What I would encourage all of you to do is click this button down here. Again, I'm on the band webpage. I'm on calendar. And towards the bottom, if I'm in this view, I see plus Google Calendar. Now, if I click that button, it's not going to do anything because I'm the creator of it and it's all linked in my Google accounts on my laptop. If you click this, and I believe for a phone, you got to be Android. I think there's an iCal different version of this that you got to do. But anyway, if this works, which for most parents and students it does, this will automatically import all of the band calendar in. And if I make any changes or I add start and end times, like I know a lot of these times for concerts and festivals are to be announced, if I update them in Google Calendar, you will automatically get that through this link. So go ahead and do plus Google Calendar and you'll get these dates in your own Google Calendar at home. And if you don't use Google Calendar, I do printed versions as well, but it took me a year to transition to Google, and I like it a lot because everything's in one place now, all my documents and everything. So anyway, if you want to change view, if you don't want to see the monthly at a glance view, you can click agenda and you'll see every single date listed for the whole year. I did not include this in the marching band calendars. This is actually all the concerts for the year, all the way through next year's band camp, which hopefully will be away back at Camp Living Waters. If you want to blow this up so it's a little bit bigger, a little easier to see, you can do that. And you can obviously toggle through the various months and whatnot, just like you would normally on your web browser or on your phone. All right, so that's the calendar. I'm going to go back to month view on this. If you want to see the specific marching band calendar, this might be something you might want to save or write down or import into your own personal calendar. Very, very, very subject to change. But as you can see, everything is listed. We do 1 night a week rehearsals after camp week. So it's 6 to 9, but just 1 night a week. So very manageable. It's marching band takes a lot more hours than the standard class time takes. So this year, I had to take the drill, the amount of different formations that we have to learn. I reduced that by quite a bit, so we will have time to finish the show. So hopefully, band camp week, we'll be able to finish maybe a tune or two of the drill. And then later on in the year, once class starts and once we have these Monday and Tuesday night rehearsals, we'll be able to finish the show by the end of the season. So as you can see, it goes all the way down through festival and our marching band fall indoor concert, which is really, really great, all the way through Memorial Day and band camp as well. So There's a lot of questions right now about what ifs, what happens if this changes, what happens if this changes, and we really, really don't know. I think MHSAA is waiting on the NCAA to make a decision on sports. So once Michigan, Michigan State, and all the colleges cancel their seasons, then that's going to trickle down to MHSAA and all the other sports, and then it's all going to be canceled. So if MHSAA is going to cancel a season, I'm definitely going to be doing that too. Probably going to get that same directive from the school anyway. If they flip seasons to springtime, we're going to be just extending the pep band season then. So our winter basketball pep band voluntary, it's just going to transition right over to football. Into the spring, April, May, those kinds of months, we're just going to do a voluntary pep band. We would have to learn drill in the snow, and I'm not really wanting to do that. So we'll go ahead and just keep ourselves as a pep band. And then maybe more folks will maybe want to join. So lots of uncertainty right now in terms of what's going to happen for next fall. So we're going to just kind of play as if things are a go. You'll notice I didn't put Cedar Springs on here. The social distancing thing on the bus, that kind of worries me a little bit with 100 students cramming on three buses. The more buses we add, the cost, compounds exponentially. So you add a bus, you've now just, tripled your cost instead of doubling your cost. So I really, really don't want to, spend too much this year, and we do have to pay to go to Cedar Springs. So I went ahead and took it off of our calendar. There's just a lot of uncertainty and things like that. And, cost savings too. We don't really have budgets this year. We don't have any funds to do things, buy instruments. So we went ahead and removed that one. Okay, so sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's not really a great year. So that's the calendar. There's other things on here that you may want to check out. Eventually, I'm going to change and update the photos. I know photos, something people want to see. That is on the old website that I used to run. So if you still have access to that, you can definitely see some photos from previous years. But that's what we have as of right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Email's the best way to do it, bbalch@brps.org. If you need to get into the school for equipment, I know students have been asking about getting into their band locker. I have to talk to my band parent volunteers, and we need to figure out a way to do that, because that's going to be a little bit of a hassle since I don't know where your stuff is. And I realize percussionists are going to need to get into the building to find where their things are. And we need to hang tight on that, because I need my principal to say whether or not I can let a student in the building to find where they're, like athletes have to go into their lockers to dig stuff out. We might be able to do that one person at a time, but you'll definitely need to have a mask on if we do have you come into the building to grab something. All right, well, I hope that this was helpful and answered some of your questions. If you have any more questions, please feel free to email me, and I'll do my best to help out. But I will see Percussion in Colorguard on July 30th, Thursday night. And then everybody else, I will see you on August 3rd for our first night rehearsal for the marching band season. All right, take care, guys. See you soon.